we did our caster roundtable, and I said I did not think EnVy would get top 2 in the group, but I actually thought, just because, you know, it wasn't knocking them, but they haven't practiced as much as people coming in because of different factors, but I thought they would lose to Gosu Crew. I did not think it would be the way it went with the loss to FaZe and now loss maybe to Elevate coming in, but still could be the same result. But let's see how we start off here. Watson has been able to find one, still trying to track one inside of loading. I think Zed able to pick that up. And now you'll see, if you didn't watch yesterday, or maybe a little bit new to Call of Duty here in Infinite Warfare, this first hardpoint used to be inside of this bottom hut, now up top. How does that change things for you, Chance?
Well, I mean, a lot of times we talk about hills that are like contest heavy or something like that. It's not even contest heavy. This is just a hill that's difficult to survive in. Each side kind of has one spot. You can huddle in that corner for protection. So whoever has that showers mid-map control, you're going to be the one that's able to come out on top. Because again, you can even see what Watson is pre-aiming. That's the only thing he really needs to watch. Of course, it helps when he's putting in some work inside the hill, but if you have control of mid-map, have control of showers, you're going to be able to get control of the hill, but even then, it's not going to be very much. You see just 19 points coming on the board for the full 60 of the hill.
That was a really good start from Watson, though. You get 15 of those points. You also start out on a 5 streak to kick things off. Now as we're going to rotate over to cell block, let's hop to the back. Well, I was going to say it's Slasher trying to make a play, but he gets dropped. So now it's just going to be JCap. I hear fans going nuts behind us. Something must have just happened in one of the other, maybe on the Bravo match.
Well, speaking of nuts, right now, John, the guy who's had the hot hand, he's going to be 0-5, and that is definitely not the start you're going to be needing. So Elevate, I mean, they're in complete control right now. They don't quite have the good spawns for this hill, so EnVy, in all likelihood, is going to have a pretty good opportunity to break. You see the nades coming in as well, but either way, if you're Elevate, you're perfectly happy, even if EnVy is able to break through, because you've gotten a substantial amount of time. You can just go ahead and rotate to next, and that's going to be the case. EnVy, they're going to get the final 14 seconds, but Elevate, they're going to easily win this rotation battle.
Well, what's funny, I was going to make this point before the game 5. I was going to say what's scary is if you didn't have John go off like that, you get smoked in the game too. But this is kind of an example of what happens in a respawn if John's not going off right now. Clearly, it does not work in your favor, as 50-19 is your scoreline. The slow start from John certainly being felt. They need him to pick it up, and they need the rest of the squad kind of get behind him. But Watson still racking up time. He's been the leader in the OBJ, at least for this game, doing it in the slaying department as well. Zed starting to feel the pressure, but they line up and get collided there as Zed finds 2. Zed guns the 3rd. Disgusting stuff from the European Slayer as he stays up and starts to pick up some time.
Absolutely brutal. EnVy with the, getting 3 down. They only pull off 5 seconds for that hill, and now no one's going to be inside. Actually, another 3 down for EnVy, and Zed's not going to be there to get a 3-piece this time. Still, though, if you're Elevate, you're comfortable with everything that's happening. Yes, EnVy's able to break through and get some scrap time, but you've been winning the rotation battles. But you can see EnVy, they're on the ball this time. 12 seconds left on the old hill, and they are flooding towards the back. Zed's going to be back there, has a gunfight against Slasher. Slasher, though, going to be able to come out on top, trying to anchor these spawns for his team.
Yeah, it's an important gunfight, but at the same time, John had 2 more players to deal with because the rest of his team drops him behind. You have to rotate as a team here, and that gun, it was a kind of a 3-on-3 there. Ends up getting won by Elevate. Let's go to the back, because it's going to be Zed yet again, kind of watching the mid push here by Scanner. Such an important spot to hold kind of spots for Commissary here. He's able to find one at the top, one maybe coming around the back here. No, sorry, I think he's actually just pushed up to his previous. There he's going to come through Scanners. He can't win that one.
Well, you see what EnVy was trying to do, pushing the 1 player in the back, and as soon as he makes a move on the hill, 2 players go and hit the wall run. It looks like JCap and John win the gunfight. Still, though, Elevate again. They have those slightly favored spawns. Going to be in the hill for the moment, but John, he's going to be causing all sorts of problems. They have to look in the back, but they're able to pick them up. No one for EnVy was able to really get to flood inside the hill. Of course, JCap's still going to be there, so a lot of contest time coming down just in the end. Neither team really able to break through, and as I say that, though, Elevate getting those final 10 seconds, so not really a close game either. I think we were between, what, about 10-15 points before this hill, and Elevate, excuse me, kind of blew it out of the water.
They really did. Let's see, I think it was, what, 20-0 kind of to kick this first one off. We'll see if they can get a better setup this time, maybe racking even more time. It was Watson, oh, look at this. Watson had, what, 5 or 6 kills on the first hardpoint? He had 8 just a moment ago. So he hasn't been that involved kind of since the opening of the game, but they're still racking up points.
Still 45 seconds of hill time for that player. And it's one of those things that, yes, the score is pretty big between these 2 teams, about 50 points, but that really is just one hill. If you can get full time on a hill, which can happen on, I don't know, pretty much 3 of these hills, I'd say you have a halfway decent chance of locking down a full 60 as long as you play it right. And of course, it looks like EnVy, they're going to be able to get quite a bit of time on this middle hill as well, but you see they're already set up. There you have JCap sitting in Slashers, trying to catch these players on the overextension. He's able to do just that. And you see that number 6 on finding mid-map Slasher. Again, anchoring these spawns for Envy all the way in the back of the map, making sure he's prepared for this prison hill.
Yeah, and look, he gets the spawn for his teammates, 2 drop, and they're going to spawn on him, so the 10 seconds of scrap will go over to Elevate, but now is where you need a solid hold. You have to put in work. JCap's going to be the one dealing with pressure first. He drops, so they're already down a man. Who's going to rotate over to pick it up? It's going to be kind of John watching from inside, and then Apathy watching from the back. Got a good position here, but there's 2 players to deal with. They push him out, despite the fact that you've had 2 MV players drop. They're still holding on strong, but look at where they're spawning out. Kind of have to hit that long wall run to get back to the action.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on Slasher right now. He knows he's going to be surrounded. Players going to be flooding in the
Nice play.
Able to get the punch as well. Does some damage with the pistol, and he's able to fend off 3 players right now from Elevate, and you can see all of his teammates are able to get back inside the hill. So Envy on this hill when it started, they were down by 45 seconds. Well, now it's less than a 10-point game, and well, they're in a position to get some scrap time as well. They're pretty much just got the full 60.
And Shawnee staying alive in the back there almost in a sense kind of hurt them, because as his teammate spawns out, he almost dies like, what, 5 seconds before they get there. So they never had like a real good 4-man push on that. They were kind of staggered, going 2 at a time, 3 at a time. Never really got to push together. Now look at you got a bit of a spree here. It's up to 9 for the Envy side, 4 streak for Slasher, 2 in a row for Cap, and 3 for Apathy. JCap just waiting on the squad to group up. Coming around the back is going to be Apathy, so he's able to find the opening kill, cannot find the second. JCap still in a position to make a play. He does find one inside, has overdrive to work with, which may come in crucial for one of these upcoming rotations. Can't win the gunfight. That's Reedy, though, gunning as he slides in.
Yeah, and that's a huge kill as well, because if you recall from that first hard point, as soon as JCap got those streaks, that was pretty much GG. So shutting him down, incredibly important. You see another lead change actually going to come underway. Elevate again, fighting for this time. Envy, though, last time around, they were able to break through on this hill and pick up the remaining scrap. So Elevate, they're just kind of trying to fend off these players as much as they can. It looks like Watson and Reedy, for the moment, able to do just that. And you can see Envy, it looks like they're already going to go ahead and give up on this hill, going for that rotation already.
Well, I'm going to get back to Reedy after we check the rotation, just because I think he was 75 off the Trinity rocket, so I'm curious if he'll be able to get that. But getting set up here at commissary is going to be Zed. Zed's going to have the full squadron really coming in from the NV side. Do they find him in this corner, or does he get a couple sneaky kills? The answer is he gets a few sneaky. There's one. There's the rewind. Finds him to his left. He's able to pick it up. 2, not the 3rd. And then Reedy, where's he at? So he's well, obviously the last man on the final hard point, so he's going to be the last one to rotate over. I want to see if he can pick up some of these streaks.
Yeah, I would just play for streaks at this point. There you go. He's able to get the Trinity rockets, and he's underway to getting more. Of course, if he gets that Warden, that is, again, an incredibly powerful thing. He's going to use streaks to get more streaks, and the information is important as well. Knows that there's at least 2 players that were on that wall run side, so he's going to be able to call those out. And you see his teammates putting that pressure on mid-map, so doing everything correct. Watson's able to pick up 2. Reedy inside the hill is going to get a 3rd again. 150 off of that Warden.
I think he's feeling confident, tries to challenge that with a pistol. I don't know, maybe he thought another one was hitting the wall run, but I have to, well, let's go over to the rotation, then we'll check back with him real quick. I just want to see how they're set up now for mid-map as we have the second tick away. Well, here, we'll get right back over to Reedy, because he's actually going to call on the bombardment. Now, where does he drop it? Because Zed just picked up 2 kills. It does end up actually connecting, so he does find one on Cap, and now he's going to wrap the long way around the back, so he should be able to come up behind 1 or 2 players here if he ends up pushing through. But it looks like he's just worried about the overextension from the other side. But now he gets the call. The contest is in, and he's going to come through. 125 off the Warden. If he finds this kill inside, the shot's so shaky, but he got it. He got it, the 7th streak, and the Warden is in that last bullet before he dropped, and that might be the icing on the cake.
I will say, to their credit, Envy, if they have blind eye classes, they need to switch to that immediately, and they're going to be just fine. The Warden won't be able to do anything, but again, they have to deal with that Warden in the air, so at the very least, their classes aren't going to be their preferred ones, and still, they have to, well, they don't have to contest this, actually. They can just go and hold prison. They do have the good spawn for it, and again, last time they did get a full 60, so it's not over, but it is very, very difficult. And there you can see the blind eye class is actually coming in.
Yeah, you got blind eye on 3 of the 4. I'm assuming John's probably swapping as he died. So yes, everybody's got blind eye now to deal with the Warden, so it won't be such a pain, but it does not matter. Elevate behind